The first time I ever came across false allegations, I was about 15 or 16 years old, and I ended up putting the woman in the hospital. That is why I give a shit about false allegations. It goes way back. But while I tell you the story, we're gonna build a rocket light that is gonna hold my son's stuffed animals. In case you haven't been able to surmise from my tattoos by now, I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. I didn't even grow up with parents. I grew up in social services, which means I hung out a lot on the streets, and I had a big crew that I hung out with. Now, the crew was mostly guys, but there were a few girls, me and I think 3 other girls. I'm gonna call the girl Samantha. We were all hanging out at the train station one day, as we always did, and Samantha comes down and she's bawling her eyes out. Basically puking, crying, I mean fucking hysterical. We're all concerned and we're asking her what's going on, and she said that Ben had sexually assaulted her. Now all of us were shocked because we know this guy. We love this guy. He's a part of our friend group. He's like a brother to all of us. And so naturally we're like, what? So all of us were kind of like, there's no way she's lying about this, right? Who would do that? She's so convincing. So even though we loved Ben to pieces, we took her side. A couple of guys called Ben out and asked him to come smoke a joint at the basketball courts. As I'm sure you've probably figured out, the real goal was to smash Ben's head in, because obviously we don't take too kind to rapists. So sure enough, we get Ben. We're smoking weed with Ben. Ben, 20 minutes later, gets his shit rocked. Absolute shit beat out of him. And you know, this fucked us up. It hurt us pretty deeply because we, like I said, we really love this kid, you know? It kind of becomes common consensus that we are just not going to hang out with Ben anymore, right? We don't tolerate that. We protect the women in our crew. You know, a couple weeks go by. Nobody's talking to Ben. Nobody's seen him. Samantha continues to hang out with us. A few weeks later, I'm out. I'm drinking with Samantha. We're at the train station. We're laughing. She starts laughing hysterically and she says, "Can you keep a secret?" And I just realized I put these decals on wrong, but that's okay. He proceeds to say, "Remember a few weeks ago when I told you guys that Ben had raped me? Well, I definitely fucked this up. It's supposed to be round, and look at it. It's like a weird dick. I don't even know what I've done." Now, I think I forgot to mention this part, but Samantha had a boyfriend. After asking for my confidentiality, she proceeds to tell me that she wasn't actually sexually assaulted. She had actually cheated on her boyfriend, was afraid that he was gonna find out. Instead of, telling him, or easier, not cheating, she said that he raped her. I remember sitting there and thinking to myself, for the love of the Son, the Father, and the audacity, why would she do that? I can't really tell what bothered me the most. Maybe it was the fact that we absolutely brutalized this guy for no reason. The fact that she decided to tell me, of all people, or, and this is most likely it, the fact that when she told me, she was sitting there laughing and smirking the whole time, like it was the funniest thing she'd ever done. Well, after sitting there in shock for about a minute, I beat her ass anyway. If getting the dog shit beat out of you was a person, that was her. I busted this girl up, man. Her nose was broken, her eyebrow was split open, her lip, she had a lip piercing, it got punched right through her lip. And I guess while she was in the hospital, she was texting a bunch of our friends and told them that I just got drunk and I attacked her and she doesn't know why. And once again, she's the victim. Well, my friends knew better than that, so when I got to the train station the next day, they were all asking me, "I heard what you did to Samantha. What happened?" I told them exactly what she told me. A few of my friends were enrolled at Ben's school, and so when he was in school that day, they invited him back down to Heritage and asked him if he'd be willing to talk with us, and obviously he was scared, thought it was another setup. And they just explained to him, like, "No, we need to apologize to you. She told us something, like, we just need to talk to you." So thankfully, at the end of the day, he came down. Every single one of us that was involved in his assault apologized to him very sincerely. And, thankfully, he forgave us. He was just grateful that his name was cleared. But, unfortunately, we all had to learn a lesson that day. And that lesson is pretty clear. Even if a woman is bawling her eyes out, puking, crying, you're thinking to yourself, there's no way this girl can be lying. There is still a very fat chance that she could be lying. I think it took our innocence of the world, part of it that was left anyways. We really believed her, and we were so hurt that we hurt our friend over something that never even happened. Now, you know, when I was younger, I hadn't heard the phrase, believe all women yet. It was just something that we naturally did because women wouldn't lie about abuse. But I learned pretty quickly that that ideology is one of the biggest farces that is sold in society. Ever since that day, I've never been able to hear a woman share her story without thinking twice. I give a little bit less faith to victims, even victims that are probably telling the truth because of that time. So when people ask me, why am I so passionate about false allegations? Why do I think that it should be punished with jail time? The answer is simple. I've seen it. I've experienced it firsthand. I've seen men lose their lives over false allegations. I've seen women acting traumatized out of their mind while lying to your face. Personally, I think that rapists should get the death penalty. But you know who else should get the death penalty? People who make false rape accusations. False allegations ruin lives, they ruin reputations, they ruin friendships. But most importantly, they ruin the people that the allegations are made about. It ruins the credibility for other victims that need support and deserve support. It's a pretty disgusting and heinous thing to do, in my opinion. I don't have any patience for it, and I think that these people should do the exact same jail time as the people would have done had people believed the false allegation. I mean, it kind of looks like a rocket. It actually looks so ugly. Oh my God, look at the stars. Why did I put them so close together? Over my career as a men's rights advocate, I've seen a lot of men's lives ruined by false allegations. You have the Inquisitor Ghost, who took his own life live on TikTok, and many, many others. And one thing I constantly hear people say, specifically feminists, is that they would rather risk believing a false allegation than going against a real victim. And that sentiment is really sweet, sure, but it's irresponsible as fuck. For some reason, society, specifically feminists, have an issue with waiting for all of the information to come out before making a snap judgment because they just want to assume that the men are guilty. I forgot what I was saying last, so I went back and I rewinded, and I realized that my back looks like a butt. Why does my back look like a butt? I truly believe that we should be taking false allegations way more seriously. And until we do, people's lives are going to continue to get destroyed and ruined. And women will just willy-nilly continue to get away with making false allegations. False allegations scare the ever-living shit out of me because all a woman has to do is say, he raped me, and there will always be people that will believe her and never him. You know, I kind of have to say, this rocket looks like shit. Mommy did her best, son. I'm a pretty handy woman, you know? All that handiness doesn't really matter if you can't build a goddamn rocket. I do really enjoy doing stuff like this though, but I can't get over the fact that these stripes are crooked, but I'm gonna have to. I want you guys to let me know if I should do more of these videos, Roma's DIYs, if you will. All right, now for the big reveal. Aww. That actually looks hella cute. It may be imperfect, the stickers may be crooked, but it's a beauty to look at. And I'm not just talking about the bookshelf.